Most people see the Sahara as nothing but an endless sea of sand. But beyond these golden dunes lies something far older and far richer. This is Morocco, a land where traditions have survived for more than 1,000 years, where African, Arab, and European worlds have met and mingled for centuries, where the edge of Africa lies just miles from the coast of Europe. Here, a lone traveler still crosses the same desert his ancestors walked, his face wrapped against the wind, his camel's tracks vanishing in the sand behind him. One moment, you stand in the silence of the Atlas Mountains. The next, the sunrise turns the dunes of Erg Chebi into waves of liquid gold. And as the sun sets, Marrakesh awakens. Storytellers, musicians, and spice sellers filling the square of Jamia Al-Fana with the living, breathing heartbeat of the country. A spice seller calls out his prices, his voice cutting through the noise. The Moroccans have an old proverb: "The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page." Today, we turn to Morocco's most beautiful chapters, into cities that once ruled kingdoms, welcomed scholars from across the world, and left a legacy that still defines Morocco today. 9 million square kilometers. The Sahara is the largest hot desert on Earth, so vast that Morocco holds only a sliver of it. But that sliver is Erg Chebi. Near the small town of Merzouga, these dunes rise 150 meters into the sky, running 22 kilometers along the desert floor. By day, the heat can climb past 50 degrees Celsius. By night, it can fall below freezing. And yet, in this extreme, life finds a way. The fennec fox hunts here after dark, its oversized ears tuned to the faintest sound beneath the sand. Sand vipers bury themselves by day, striking only when the ground trembles above them. Scarab beetles roll their burdens across dunes that shift with every gust of wind. For the Berber nomads who call this desert home, none of it is a mystery. They read the stars to navigate at night, the wind to predict a storm, and the slow shifting shape of the dunes to know exactly where they stand. Their black tents rise and vanish across the landscape, homes that have moved with the seasons for generations. And still, camel caravans cross these sands, carrying salt and dates along routes traders have followed for 1,000 years. At the desert's edge sits Mohammed, the last town before the Algerian border, known simply as the gateway to the Sahara. Beyond it, there is nothing but sand for thousands of kilometers. This is where travelers come to disappear for a night. They cross the dunes by camel as the sun sinks into the horizon, and sleep beneath more stars than most will ever see in a lifetime. Out here, the silence isn't empty. It's the loudest thing you'll ever hear. But even a desert this old is not standing still. Rising temperatures are pushing the Sahara's edge further north each year. Oases that have sustained life for centuries are beginning to run dry, forcing some communities to leave the only home they've known. In response, Morocco has begun planting long green belts of trees, a slow, deliberate effort to hold the sand back before it takes more than it already has. There's a town in these mountains that seems to have wandered in from somewhere else entirely. Ifrane, built by the French in the 1930s. With sloped roofs, stone chalets, and streets so clean and orderly that locals simply call it Little Switzerland. There's even a ski resort here, in a country most people picture as endless desert. But drive 2 hours from this alpine illusion, and you land somewhere completely different. This is Amazigh country. The word means free people, and these mountains have belonged to them since long before Arab settlers ever arrived. Their language, Tamazight, survived centuries in the shadow of Arabic, and only recently earned recognition as one of Morocco's official languages. Travel from one valley to the next, and everything shifts. Take a different dialect, a different pattern woven into the carpets, even a different way of preparing the same dish of tagine. But beyond culture, these mountains serve a purpose the whole country depends on. Snow collects on their peaks each winter, and slowly melts into streams. Streams that grow into rivers, rivers that carry water down to the farmland below. Without the Atlas Mountains, Morocco would be desert, coast to coast. Look south from Marrakesh on a clear morning, and you'll see them. Snow resting on peaks, above a city that never sees frost. These are the Atlas Mountains, 3 ranges running across Morocco like a spine. The High Atlas, the Middle Atlas, and the Anti-Atlas. Together, they do something remarkable. They hold back the Sahara, keeping it from swallowing the coast. At the center of it all stands Toubkal, rising 4,167 meters, the highest peak in all of North Africa. The Berbers call it Adrar Nindern, the mountain of mountains. Climbers come here in every season, though in winter, the mountain fights back with heavy snow. The climb takes 2 full days, passing through Berber villages where the pace of life hasn't changed in generations. These villages seem to defy gravity itself. Homes of red mud and stone, stacked into the mountainside. Below them, farmers carve terraces into the slopes, coaxing crops from land that shouldn't be farmable at all. One fortified village has become famous far beyond Morocco's borders. Ayet bin Hadou. Its clay towers rise like something carved from the earth itself, which is exactly why UNESCO placed it under protection. Hollywood found it long ago too. Gladiator, Game of Thrones, Lawrence of Arabia, all filmed within these walls. But step past the film crew's old marks, and you'll find real families still living here. Laundry drying in courtyards where guards once stood watch for invaders. Further north, the Middle Atlas turns green. Cedar forests blanket the slopes, home to monkeys known as Barbary macaque, the only wild monkey found anywhere in Africa north of the Sahara. Morocco doesn't face one sea, it faces 2. To the north, the Mediterranean, calm, historic, ancient. To the west, the Atlantic, wild, restless, untamed. Start on the Atlantic side, in a city painted only in 2 colors. Essaouira, blue shutters against whitewashed walls. Stone ramparts the Portuguese built in the 16th century, still standing guard over the harbor. Fishing boats bob in the water, painted in colors bright enough to spot from the ramparts above. The wind here never rests. Locals call it the City of Wind, and it's earned that name. Kite surfers and windsurfers ride these gusts year-round. In 1969, a young Jimi Hendrix wandered these same streets. And legend says this coastline inspired the song Castles Made of Sand. That era never fully left. You can still feel it in the cafes and galleries scattered through town. But the real rhythm of Essaouira happens before most tourists wake up. Each morning, the fishing fleet returns. Seagulls circling overhead, merchants shouting bids, the day's catch laid out for all to see. Sardines, sea bream, sole, prawns. By 9 a.m., it's already over. The catch scattered across the city's kitchens before the heat of the day sets in. Further south along this same coast lies Agadir. In 1960, an earthquake nearly erased this city, killing 15,000 people. What stands today was rebuilt almost entirely from nothing. Now one of Morocco's biggest beach resorts, all sunshine and modern hotels. And in Casablanca, industry and faith share the same skyline. Rising above the port stands the Hassan II Mosque, its minaret reaching 210 meters into the sky, the tallest religious tower on Earth. Cross to the Mediterranean side, and you reach Tangier, sitting at the very tip of the African continent. On a clear day, Spain is visible just 14 kilometers away, across the Strait of Gibraltar. This city has never truly belonged to one people. Phoenicians, Romans, Arabs, Portuguese, British, Spanish, French, all of them claimed Tangier at one point or another. Writers were drawn to that very uncertainty. Paul Bowles, William Burroughs, Tennessee Williams, all once called this restless, borderless city home. In total, Morocco's coastline stretches 3,500 kilometers, and every kilometer of it tells a different story. 2 hours south of Tangier, hidden in the Rif Mountains, there's a town that looks like it was dipped in the sky. Chefchaouen. Every wall here is blue, every door, every step of every staircase. Sky blue, powder blue, turquoise, indigo. It's not one shade, it's dozens, spilling across the entire town. So why blue? Here's the strange part. Nobody actually agrees. The tradition arrived with Jewish refugees in the 1930s. Some say the color repels mosquitoes. Some say it represents the heavens. Others insist it simply keeps the houses cooler in summer. The truth might be all three, or none of them. The residents just keep repainting every year, and the mystery repaints itself right along with the walls. The town itself was founded in 1471, built as a fortress to hold off Portuguese invaders. For centuries afterward, Christians were forbidden from even entering. That isolation is exactly what preserved it. Sealed off from outside influence long enough to become something entirely its own. It wasn't until 1920 that Spain finally took control of the town. Today, the isolation is long gone. Tourists now fill these narrow blue streets, cameras raised, chasing the perfect shot. And that attention has brought real prosperity. Every alley now lined with woven blankets and hand-stitched leather bags for sale. The surrounding Rif region carries its own reputation too. It's Morocco's cannabis heartland, officially illegal, unofficially impossible to ignore. As the sun goes down, everyone gathers in one place, Plaza Uta El Hammam. Cafe tables fill, families stroll past in the evening light. And rising above it all, the Kasbah's deep red walls stand out sharply against the blue, surrounding them on every side. Chefchaouen doesn't just look photogenic. It looks almost unreal, like walking straight into a painting. And somehow, despite all the cameras and crowds, it still feels completely genuine. Some cities move forward. Fez refuses to. Step into Fez El Bali, and you're stepping into 9,000 alleys, tangled like roots beneath a tree. Home to 200,000 people, all living inside walls built for the medieval world. No cars can enter here. It's the largest car-free urban zone on the planet. Walk far enough into these alleys, and the 11th century starts to feel closer than the 21st. Nowhere is that more true than the tanneries. The process here hasn't changed in 1,000 years. Giant stone vats, filled with pigeon droppings, cow urine, and quicklime. Workers standing waist-deep, treating hides entirely by hand. The smell hits before the sight does. Guides hand out sprigs of mint to visitors for exactly that reason. And yet, the leather that comes out of these vats is prized around the world, stamped simply, made in Fez. Elsewhere in the Medina, a different kind of mastery is on display. Inside the old Quranic schools, cedar wood is carved into patterns so intricate they seem mathematically impossible. Zellige tilework climbs the walls in endless geometric rhythm. Marble columns rise to support arches so delicate they barely seem load-bearing. Students once slept and studied law and scripture in tiny cells lining these courtyards. Today, most of them stand as monuments. Though in the mosques nearby, the prayers never really stopped. Fez holds 800 mosques and 9,000 active workshops. Behind unmarked doors, artisans still hammer copper, weave silk, and hand-paint ceramics. In the very same rooms their grandfathers worked in. Nothing here is rushed. Quality simply takes as long as it takes. Compared to Marrakesh noise and color, Fez is quieter, more conservative, more spiritual. If Marrakech is Morocco's heartbeat, Fez is something closer to its soul. Every city in Morocco has a rhythm. Marrakesh has a pulse. Founded in 1062, it became the capital of the Almoravid Empire and wrapped itself in red earthen walls that still stretch 19 kilometers today. But nothing prepares you for what's inside them. At the center of it all is Jama El Fna Square, and calling it a square almost undersells it. This is humanity, turned up to full volume. Recognized by UNESCO as a masterpiece of living heritage. By day, it's orange juice stalls, date sellers, and henna artists working in the shade. But wait for sunset. That's when the square truly wakes up. Grills firing up with merguez sausage, lamb chops, even snails simmered in spicy broth. Storytellers gather crowds in Darija, the local dialect. Kanawa musicians play rhythms passed up from sub-Saharan Africa, trance-like and hypnotic. Above it all, one landmark watches over the entire city. The Koutoubia Mosque's minaret rises 77 meters into the sky, visible from almost anywhere in Marrakesh. Built in 1195, it became the blueprint for Seville's Giralda Tower in Spain. 5 times a day, the call to prayer still echoes out from its summit, exactly as it has for over 800 years. Now, step off the square, into the souks. 5 square kilometers of narrow lanes, each one specializing in something different. Textiles here, leather there, hammered metalwork somewhere else. Walking through feels less like shopping, and more like moving through a living organism. And here's where it gets interesting. Bargaining in these souks isn't really about the price, it's theater. The merchant quotes triple what he actually wants. You counter with a third of that. He clutches his chest, insists he has children to feed. You turn to walk away. He calls you back. Mint tea appears from nowhere. And 20 minutes later, you both agree on the exact price you both knew from the very first offer. But Marrakesh isn't only markets and noise. Behind unmarked doors sits Bahia Palace. 14 years in the making, its name literally meaning brilliance. Room opens onto room. Garden opens onto garden. Every inch was designed for one purpose: to let a powerful vizier's palace speak for him. And then, there's a garden that shouldn't exist at all. In the middle of this desert city, French painter Jacques Majorelle built an oasis in the 1920s. Cobalt blue buildings, groves of bamboo, cacti gathered from 5 continents. By 1980, the garden was headed for destruction, until Yves Saint Laurent stepped in and saved it. Today, his ashes rest here, inside the garden he once called home. So which is the real Marrakesh? The ancient walls, or the Ville Nouvelle just outside them? Wide boulevards, European cafes, young Moroccans on laptops planning their next startup? The truth is, it's both. One foot in the past, one foot reaching for the future. Not every great city needs to be beautiful. Some just need to work. Casablanca is Morocco's largest city, home to 5 million people. And it isn't trying to charm you the way Marrakesh does, or move you the way Fez does. This is where the money moves, where business actually happens. Not beautiful, not spiritual, just essential. But even a city built for commerce has its masterpiece. The Hassan II Mosque took until 1993 to complete and cost $800 million to build. Its minaret rises 210 meters into the sky, tall enough that a laser beam from its peak points directly toward Mecca. The prayer hall alone holds 25,000 worshippers. The courtyard outside holds 80,000 more. Here's what makes it truly unusual, though. Part of the mosque was built directly over the Atlantic Ocean. Look down through sections of glass flooring, and the sea is moving right beneath your feet. It's also one of the very few mosques in Morocco open to non-Muslim visitors. King Hassan II wanted this building to rival the greatest mosques anywhere in the Islamic world. So he brought in the best craftsmen from every corner of Morocco. Cedar carvers, marble workers, zellige tile artists, and insisted every piece be made entirely by hand. In total, the mosque took 60 million hours of labor to complete. Beyond the mosque, Casablanca's downtown tells its own layered story. Along the Corniche, cafes and clubs stay busy late into the night. Young Moroccans dancing to music that blends traditional instruments with electronic beats. And then there's Rick's Cafe. Here's the twist most visitors don't know. The original Casablanca film never actually set foot in Morocco. Every scene was shot entirely in Hollywood. But in 2004, someone built the bar anyway, right here in the real city. And tourists still show up every night, chasing a piece of a fantasy that never technically existed here at all. Strip away the romance, though, and the real Casablanca looks very different. Shipping containers, factories, constant traffic. It isn't pretty, but it doesn't need to be. The port here handles 50 million tons of cargo every year. And Morocco's entire economy depends on this one city continuing to work. Not every imperial city wanted to be Marrakesh. Meknes wanted to be Versailles. Between 1672 and 1727, Sultan Moulay Ismail built obsessively, determined to rival the French court itself. At the height of his ambition, the royal stables here housed 12,000 horses. His greatest surviving monument is Bab Mansour, completed in 1732, and still Morocco's largest gate. Look closely at its columns, and you'll notice something strange. They're recycled from Roman ruins, ancient glory repurposed to support a new empire's entrance. inside the mausoleum of Moulay Ismail. You'll find one of the very few mosques in Morocco that non-Muslims are permitted to enter. Intricate tilework climbs the walls. Carved plaster frames every archway. Somewhere nearby, a fountain never stops running. The Sultan himself rests here, and to this day, people still make pilgrimages to his tomb. Meknes never quite achieved the fame Ismail dreamed of. But stand in front of Bab Mansour, and the scale of his ambition is impossible to miss. From here, travel just 40 kilometers, and you'll step straight into the Roman Empire. Volubilis was Rome's southwesternmost city, established in the 3rd century BC and thriving for 500 years. Its olive oil once fed Rome itself. Today, its ruins spread across 40 hectares. Triumphal arches, ancient basilicas, and mansions with mosaic floors still intact after 2,000 years. Inside the House of Orpheus and the House of Dionysus, the mosaic work rivals anything found in Pompeii. But here's what makes Volubilis different from almost every other ancient site you've seen. There's no glass, no barriers. Sun and rain fall directly onto 2,000-year-old stone. Wildflowers push up between the mosaics. A stray dog naps in what was once a senator's bedroom. It's proof of something easy to forget. Morocco was never isolated from the ancient world. Trade routes once connected Fez all the way to Rome, and even Constantinople. Now, head back toward the coast, to the city that would one day become the capital of an entire kingdom. Rabat became Morocco's capital in 1912, under the French protectorate. Unlike the winding chaos of Fez or Marrakesh, Rabat feels deliberate. Wide avenues, open parks, but its most famous landmark tells a story of ambition that was never finished. Construction on the Hassan Tower began in 1195, meant to become the largest minaret on earth. Then the Sultan died. Construction stopped. An earthquake in 1755 finished what neglect had started. Today, the tower stands at just 44 meters, barely half its planned height of 86, surrounded by rows of columns holding up nothing at all. Beside it stands something that was finished: the mausoleum of Mohammed V, resting place of Morocco's modern royal dynasty. White marble walls, green tiled roofs, guards standing watch in traditional dress. And just above the water, the Kasbah of the Udayas offers something rare in any capital city: quiet. Blue and white buildings, hidden gardens. It's widely considered the calmest corner in all of Rabat. But to truly understand a country, sit down at its table. A proper tagine simmers for hours, until the lamb falls away from the bone on its own. Preserved lemons cut through the richness with a sharp tang. Layers of spice build slowly underneath it all. The secret is the pot itself. Its conical clay lid traps steam and sends it circulating back down, so nothing ever dries out. Friday belongs to couscous. Families gather together after mosque, and the ritual begins. Tiny grains of semolina, steamed not once but 3 separate times, until each grain turns fluffy and impossibly light. 7 vegetables, meat piled on top, broth poured generously over everything. But if there's one ritual that defines Moroccan hospitality, it's the tea. Mint tea here isn't simply a drink, it's ceremony. Green tea, fresh mint, and far more sugar than you'd expect. Tradition says you never stop at 1 glass, you drink 3. The first is as gentle as life. The second, as strong as love. The third, as bitter as death. And turning down the offer entirely? That's not just declining tea, it's declining hospitality itself. Out on the streets, the food tells a rawer, faster story. During Ramadan, bowls of harira soup break the day's fast the moment the sun sets. Messamine flatbread sizzles on open griddles. And mehui, whole roasted lamb, gets sold right off the spit, by weight. Underneath every single dish, spice is doing the real work. Cumin, coriander, saffron, paprika, cinnamon, ginger. Vendors blend their own version of Ras El Hanout, which translates, fittingly, to top of the shop. It's the most complex spice blend in Moroccan cooking, and no two families make it quite the same way. One ingredient here can't be found anywhere else on Earth. Argan oil comes exclusively from Morocco. Goats climb directly into the trees to eat the fruit. Afterward, women crack open the nuts by hand, extract the kernels, and grind them slowly into paste. The importance of these groves runs deep. UNESCO placed them under protection back in 1998. And then there's the dish that shouldn't work on paper, yet somehow does. Pastilla. Shredded pigeon or chicken, eggs, almonds, cinnamon, and sugar, all wrapped inside paper-thin pastry, baked until golden, and finished with a dusting of powdered sugar. Sweet and savory in the very same bite. It confuses your palate and delights it in equal measure, which might be the most Moroccan thing about it. Some countries show you their history in museums. Morocco keeps hers alive, in the hands of the people still making it. Watch a Zeliga tile take shape, and you'll understand why. One craftsman cuts each small geometric piece by hand. A second arranges them face down in a bed of sand, piece by piece, from memory. A third pours plaster over the entire pattern. And only when it's flipped over does the finished masterpiece finally reveal itself. Carpets follow a different kind of memory, tribal, not individual. Every Berber tribe carries its own patterns, its own colors, its own hidden symbolism, woven directly into the wool. Beni Orain rugs became famous once international designers discovered them. And now they sit in lofts across Manhattan. But here, village women still weave them exactly as before, on simple ground looms, one thread at a time. In the souks, metalworkers hammer copper into shape by hand. Silversmiths engrave teapots with arabesque patterns. Iron lanterns get cut, piece by piece, into intricate shadow-casting designs. None of this is decoration for a museum shelf. Tea gets poured from these hand-hammered pots into hand-blown glasses, set down on these hand-woven carpets, every single day. Here, the past isn't preserved. It's simply still in use. That same rhythm carries into daily life. Step into any neighborhood hammam, and steam engulfs you immediately. Attendants scrub you clean with rough mitts, using soap made from olive oil and eucalyptus. You leave feeling, almost literally, reborn. Family sits at the center of everything. Multiple generations often share one home. Respect for elders isn't just encouraged, it's assumed. Young Moroccans may move to Casablanca for work, but the money they earn often finds its way back home. Even the souk plays a role beyond commerce. It's where neighbors actually meet, where news travels faster than any headline. The vendor selling you oranges today likely knew your grandfather. And once a year, the entire rhythm of the country shifts completely. During Ramadan, streets empty out just before sunset, then explode into feasting the moment the fast breaks. Millions of people, fasting together, create something that feels less like a routine and more like a shared consciousness. Even the music shifts depending on where you stand. Goukhnawa rhythms dominate the south. Andalusian classical music rules the north. Berber folk songs echo through the mountains. And now, a new generation of fusion artists is blending all of it with jazz, soul, and hip-hop. Morocco is 99% Muslim, but Islam here carries its own distinct character. Sufism's mystical traditions run deep beneath the surface. Marabouts shrines, tombs of local saints, dot the landscape, drawing pilgrims in search of blessing. 5 times a day, the call to prayer rises from 1,000 minarets at once, overlapping into something that almost sounds, unintentionally, like harmony. Most mosques remain closed to non-Muslim visitors, but even from outside, the architecture alone speaks for itself. Moroccan Islam leans toward moderation, and the king holds a title that reflects that role directly: Commander of the Faithful. It's a careful balance between secular governance and religious identity, one that quietly defines the whole country. In a way, Morocco is a contradiction that somehow resolved itself. A kingdom that governs democratically. An African nation that often feels distinctly European. A Muslim country that welcomes absolutely everyone. Ancient and modern don't compete here. They simply coexist. And Morocco isn't standing still. Solar farms now stretch across the Sahara. High-speed rail connects its major cities. Tech hubs are rising in Casablanca. And yet, the medinas remain exactly where they've always been. The crafts continue. The tea ceremony still gets poured from height, every single day. 60% of Morocco's population is under 30. They speak Arabic, French, often English too. They want opportunity, but they're not walking away from tradition to get it. This generation, more than any before it, will decide exactly what Morocco becomes next. That future isn't without tension. Can these ancient medinas absorb endless visitors and still stay authentic? Can handmade crafts survive when factories can copy them for a fraction of the price? Morocco is asking itself these questions right now, in real time. But one thing hasn't wavered. The hospitality here was never a performance for tourists. Moroccans generally, genuinely, want you to fall in love with their country. They'll pull you in for tea. They'll show you the corners no map marks. From the Rif Mountains to the Sahara, from the wild Atlantic to the calm Mediterranean, Morocco doesn't feel like one country. It feels like several, folded into one. There's an old Moroccan blessing. Bislama, Daz al-Khair. Go in peace, and may goodness follow you. And somehow, with mint tea in hand, the sky turning orange, and the call to prayer drifting over the rooftops, that feeling of happiness doesn't seem far-fetched at all. We've crossed deserts, climbed mountains, wandered through cities built 1,000 years apart from each other. But even after all of that, there are valleys we never reached, villages whose names we never learned, recipes no camera has ever captured. So maybe the real question isn't whether you've now seen Morocco. It's this: how much of it is still waiting for you to find it yourself?